I gave up everything for this. I mean, you know, my wife is struggling. I'm not a victim. I'm not Jim Comey. It's fine. I did this and I'm proud I did it. But if you think we're there for tea and crumpets, well, I mean, Cash is there all day. We share it. Our offices are linked. He turns on the faucet. I hear it. He's there he gets in at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave till 7 at night. You know, I'm in there at 7:30 in the morning. You know, he uses the gym. I work out in my apartment. But I stare at these four walls all day in D.C., you know, by myself, divorced from my wife. Not divorced, but I mean, separated, divorced. And it's hard. I mean, you know, we love each other, and it's hard to be apart.
But you're doing some great work. You straightened out the FBI.
In the glitzy world of political power and billionaire genius, smiles often hide secrets. And sometimes, those secrets can shake the foundation of governments. On paper, Katie Miller was the ultimate conservative insider, married to one of the Trump era's most feared advisors, Stephen Miller, and formerly a key figure in the communications war room of the White House. But in 2025, she made a sudden eyebrow-raising move, leaving politics behind and joining a shadowy reform task force under Elon Musk.
Stephen Miller's wife leaves the White House to work for Elon Musk full-time. And back in April, I saw this headline. I didn't read the article, but I saw this headline. And it says Elon Musk's takeover is being aided by a Trump world power couple. I also saw this headline back at the beginning of April, maybe the end of February. I can't remember. I didn't read the article because it's behind a paywall, but I remembered seeing this and I went on the hunt for it and found the article.
Inside the controversial new department called DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. It sounded like a career shift, but was it really something more? Within weeks, Washington insiders noticed odd behavior. Katie was no longer seen with Stephen Miller at public events. Musk's inner circle, once dominated by tech bros and crypto advisors, suddenly included Katie at late-night dinners, secure conferences, and even a private weekend trip to Sun Valley. Was it strategy? Or was something else happening behind closed doors? According to a former White House staffer who spoke under anonymity, Katie was different, more confident, almost like she was in charge, even when Elon was in the room. And that's when the rumors started. Rumors of late-night strategy, meetings, rumors of hotel bookings under aliases, rumors of an affair. But why would the world's richest man, already juggling rockets, robots, and regulation, be drawn to a woman like Katie Miller? Insiders point to one possible answer. She wasn't afraid of him. The jet touched down just past midnight on a cold strip of private runway in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. There were no flashing cameras, no curious onlookers, just the howling wind, the crunch of snow under leather boots, and a black Tesla Model waiting by the gate.
Call to action. You're hearing a call to action.
Yeah.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean...
But there's no turning back, you're saying?
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, and so far we're making good progress.
Katie Miller stepped off the Gulf Stream with a hood pulled low over her eyes. A White House veteran like her knew how to travel unnoticed. She wasn't here for politics, not officially. Elon will meet you at the chalet, said the driver, his accent clipped and tone robotic like he was reciting protocol. It's just the two of you this weekend. Her pulse quickened. As the vehicle glided silently through the woods, the air around her felt heavier than mountain altitude. Every second stretched with the tension of anticipation and dread. What was she doing here? A married woman, a public figure, a strategist with ties to the former administration. And yet, something deeper had drawn her into Elon's orbit. When she arrived, the lodge was lit like a scene from a spy thriller. Minimalist, glass walls revealing the snowy expanse beyond, firelight flickering against matte black furniture. Musk stood near the fireplace, dressed casually in a black t-shirt and jeans, holding a glass of something amber. "Katie," he said, voice low and unreadable. "Welcome to Wyoming." She unzipped her coat slowly. "This isn't exactly a policy summit." "No," he replied, walking toward her. "It's a trust summit." He handed her a glass. "Bourbon?" Neat. Just how she liked it. She hadn't told him that. Had Stephen? They sat in silence for a moment. The fire cracked. The snow pressed against the windows. Then Elon said something that caught her completely off guard. Stephen's planning to leak DOGE's reform models to the Heritage Foundation. He doesn't believe in the future we're building. Katie blinked. How do you know? I know everything, Elon said. But I don't care about Stephen. I care about you. The line landed between them like a live wire. Katie stood. If this is a trap, it's not, he interrupted. I didn't bring you here to seduce you, Katie. I brought you here because I need someone with courage, someone who understands legacy and betrayal. She turned away, staring into the falling snow. You think I'll betray my husband? I think, Elon said, stepping closer. You already have. Their eyes locked. For a moment, the world stopped. Just wind, fire, and the terrible truth between them. The kind of moment that can't be undone. The kind of moment where choices are made. Silently. Permanently. Katie walked to the fire, placed her bourbon down slowly, and whispered, Then I guess it's time we rewrite the story. That night, they didn't sleep. Not in the way the headlines would one day suggest. They pored over data, drafted reform blueprints, and mapped out a system that would either make history or destroy them both. But just before dawn, as the snow fell thick and heavy outside, Elon placed his hand over hers, and for the first time, Katie didn't pull away. The morning after the Wyoming meeting, Stephen Miller sat alone in his study, his fingers clenched around a steaming mug of black coffee. He hadn't slept, not because he couldn't, but because he wouldn't. He was too focused, too aware, too angry. Katie hadn't come home. She had sent a vague message. Meeting ran. Long. I'll be back by Monday. Don't wait up. But Stephen always waited. Not for her, but for answers. The Miller home in Georgetown had always been silent, its walls tight-lipped like its occupants. But now, the silence felt dangerous. There were two, many questions echoing through its cold hallways. Why was she taking meetings off the books? Why was Musk suddenly so comfortable pushing for reforms that mirrored Katie's old notes? Notes never meant to see daylight? And why was she changing? Stephen paced near the fireplace, clutching a small silver USB drive. It contained a copy of DOGE's leaked internal memo, a document that shouldn't have existed outside the project's top 2 members. The kind of document that could only have come from Katie's clearance. He clicked it open and read a single line for the 100th time. Directive 11B. Begin political distancing from Trump-era networks. His networks. His entire life's work. That was the moment Stephen knew. Katie wasn't just drifting from him. She was defecting. She had made a deal with the man he despised most. Not because of ideology, but because Elon Musk didn't play by any rules. Not the Constitution, not the party, not loyalty. Just power. His jaw tightened. He picked up his secure satellite phone and called a contact at the Federal Oversight Committee. The voice on the other end sounded half asleep. This better be important, Miller. It is, Stephen replied coldly. I have reason to believe a federal agency is being hijacked by a private actor. Possibly for personal gain. Possibly treason. A pause. Are you talking about DOGE? I'm talking, he said carefully, about my wife and Elon Musk. There was another silence, then a quiet intake of breath. You're sure you want to do this? Stephen leaned back in his chair, eyes dark, breath steady. I want surveillance. I want leaks traced. I want every line of communication between them flagged. But she's your wife. Not anymore, he whispered. Just then, the alert on his tablet pinged. A new tweet from Elon Musk. Sometimes the people closest to you are the first to betray you. Trust your gut. Share Dogecoin 2025, reform or die. Stephen's eyes narrowed. The war had begun, and it was personal now. He turned to a locked drawer, pulled out a red leather-bound folder marked Operation Silence, and opened it for the first time in 3 years. Inside were the names of journalists, whistleblowers, hand-buried scandals from the early Trump years. He would leak one every week if that's what it took. Katie had chosen a side. Now, so had he. It wasn't sent through official government servers, nor Musk's personal encrypted line. It came from a burner Proton Mail account, subject line, Katie, urgent, delete after reading. But someone didn't. Delete it. And now, it was everywhere. On a quiet Tuesday morning, Iris Muskgate began trending on X. Screens across DC lit up with one damning headline after another. Exclusive. Elon Musk and Katie Miller caught in secret government email chain. Plans to override oversight? The leak had been sent anonymously to 3 major newsrooms all at once: Politico, The Washington Post, and, oddly, BuzzFeed News. Within an hour, it was viral. The content was staggering. In one email, Elon wrote, "You handle Steven, I'll handle the media. DOGE must roll by Q3 or the momentum dies. We both know the optics will be rough. Just keep the White House out of it until we're ready to drop the story we discussed." Katie's reply was terse, but damning. Understood. I've already laid groundwork through Sarah at OMB. He won't. Suspect a thing. 2 sentences. Enough to raise questions about the legality of the DOGE reforms, about manipulation of federal officials, and worst of all, for Katie, about personal betrayal. The White House went dark. No comments. No statements. The Office of Management and Budget refused to answer questions. The president's press secretary said only, "DOGE is not under investigation. Yet." In Silicon Valley, Elon's team tried to contain the fallout. But containment was impossible when Elon himself posted this tweet at 9:13 a.m. Fake emails are the last resort of those who can't win with truth. But I see you, Steven. Game on. Within minutes, it was deleted. Katie Miller, meanwhile, vanished from public view. Her security detail confirmed she never returned to Washington. She wasn't at the Georgetown house. She wasn't at Musk's Austin compound. She wasn't even on official travel logs. She had disappeared. Theories exploded. Was she fleeing from Steven? Had Elon sent her to a safe house? Was she cooperating with federal investigators? Or was she planning the next move?